and they have an opportunity to say, yeah, I want to be like him, you know. And by having a vehicle, you're right there in front of that young person tonight who needs this, you know. Their parents should be getting excited, and I'm sure many of them are, to know that their kid is going to have an opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, it's so important that you have a lot of parents that have children that go to school in Newark, Glasgow High School, Christina High School, and all, that when they're in different activities at school, the parents have no transportation to get there. With the educational channel, once it get to going and get up, all that stuff will be broadcast on the educational channel into the homes. So it's so important. And just here lately, we lost one of our community pioneers, a young man who I worked with at the William Hicks Anderson Center, the Reverend Chris Dolly.
Yes.
And we differed on a lot of things, but we worked together and we were friends,
Yeah.
okay? One of the things that, as you know, I've been conducting workshops there for many years, and I never got the support from the workshops inside the city. I had to go out and get workshops, but anyway, it exists. But his last days on this earth, he came down to Baltimore, where I was doing the workshops down there, to witness the educational channel, because I've been preaching it for years, and him and I have been going over it for years. And he came down the week before he passed away, and we went around in the community and all that. And the evening of his death, I said this to his family, and I said it to Bishop Morton, my good friend and his pastor. The evening of his death, I was the last one that met with Reverend Chris Dolly in his office. He had set the meeting up. I came from Baltimore and went straight to the center to meet with him that afternoon. And we had this conversation. And in that conversation, it was so enlightening because he explained to me that he was able to see when down to Baltimore what I have been talking about all these years. Not that he was against it, but he didn't understand. And when I brought up and was pushing, trying to get an education of public channel, I was blasted on that. They got on the air, some people, and talked about I was trying to take away the leased access because I was, it was so unfair, because they did not understand the value and the difference in this particular operation. Public and educational channels mean more to this community than people can realize.
Yeah.
It not only gives the young people an opportunity to explore positive things, it gives the adults and the sinners an opportunity. Least access is good, but only a few people of our community can take the advantage of least access because there's a fee there.
Yeah, let me interject. Something that you said was very important is I think what we have to do is we have to prioritize.
Absolutely.
And we have to make a decision as a community. What is important to us? Is it a symbolic victory that is empty, or is it a cohesive success? Because too many times I think that people's personal agendas sometimes get in the way of their constructive participation in problem solving and strategizing. I want to see all of us succeed, because when one succeeds, we all succeed. And it's been a challenge for me personally. As you said, everyone can't do leased access because of the costs associated with it. If you don't have sponsors, if you don't have deep pockets, it's difficult. Sometimes the only way that we can stay on is through our own sacrifice, because you believe in what you're doing. In particularly my program, it's a shoestring budget, but it's no less important than a place like than a program that's fully funded. You know what I'm saying, Rev? So you know,
Well,
you
well, you can
understand.
call it semi-retirement in my situation if you want to, but my main reason that I'm not on the air now after 40-some years is because it got where I grew older. I couldn't get out and hustle and bust and run around and get sponsors. I'm in the production business, so I made a request instead of to go live, which the price of going on the air live and the price going for tapes is different. So I was in position to do tapes instead of live.
Okay.
And I was, my last 2 months on the air, I was paying for tape programming, but I could not get my contract for tape programming to be changed.
Yeah.
So I could not pay that extra money. So I had to come off the air. And I'm saying that to say a lot of people over the years have not taken the advantage of leased access because they was not able to pay.
Yeah.
So the difference in the public and the educational channel, you don't have to pay, you qualify. So that's why it's so important for us to have the new channel that's on the air now, channel 965 on Comcast,
Yeah.
and I'm working to try to get Verizon to tap into that. So the people who subscribe to Verizon can still get the channel also. So there's so many elements about these things, the technical things that the average person don't understand.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't understand the history of 28.
Yeah.
It's a lot of noise staying on the air, staying live. But for over the years, it's been a struggle to get here. So I want to certainly thank you again for giving me the opportunity to come down and sit on the air of something that I was the cause of getting started.
Exactly.
And our conversations off of the air has been very supportive. And as a young man, you don't know how much this means to me.
Well, you know, hearing you say that, it really moves me, Reverend Brown, because I give much respect, and much respect is due. And to hear you tell us, myself and our audience, the history of how this all came to be was just riveting for me. I mean, I could just sit here and listen to it all night because I want to really know, how did I get this opportunity, you know? Because this is not something that I got because I'm so great, but I'm grateful for this opportunity, and knowing that you are still here tonight was not a memorial. This was a celebration of life whilst the person is still living. I believe that we have to really understand that it's okay to support one another. You're allowed. It's okay to give a thank you. You're allowed. It's okay to accept and support one another unconditionally. You are allowed. You don't have to be afraid to be seen talking to your brother like it was in the past when we weren't allowed to have a conversation because of suspicion that we were plotting and planning. Let's talk to each other. Let's support each other. Let's love each other. Let's embrace one another. Is that right?
And as we go forward to develop the educational channel and support that, I want to thank those people who are coming forward now. I was asked to come back to Wilmington and conduct the workshops to make sure that people who are trying to get on the educational channel is doing it properly and follow procedures. Yeah. So I'm doing that. And as I'm getting older, as I said before, I wasn't able to hustle and bustle and raise money. So I want to take time out to thank Charlie Copeland, who took on the responsibility of raising the money that the workshop can start. We are starting the workshop as of this week at Hicks Anderson from 5 to 7:30 p.m. And we were going to play a promo a little later, but I just wanted to say this, that for those of you who have quality DVDs, meaningful DVDs with a positive message, And we know there are thousands of you out there who have been making them over the years and showing them to your friends and taking them to school and showing them to your parents. We have a channel now. It's channel 965. We're on Comcast, and it's on the air. You have an opportunity to get your DVDs on the air if they qualify. There's a free workshop at William Hicks Anderson Monday through Friday from 5 to 7:30. You can bring your DVDs in. We will look at them. If they don't qualify, we will tell you how to qualify them and help you to get them qualified to go on the air.
Why don't we do this, Twin? We have that promo from
Yes.
Let's run that promo.
All right, we'll run the promo, and then we can elaborate on it later. But we're interested in those of you in the community who would like to get on the air with your positive message. We have that opportunity for you.